What do you think about the energy of this show, dude? The first week back, it was like nothing. It was like we hadn't left, and then Zach had to go and blow that popcorn fart, dude. And it's like I don't know. I don't know why he did that. I mean, I'm glad. My friend from childhood, Thrill Manjaro here. He's on here now, so something did come of it. But I don't know why. Why would you bet? Why would you commit just for 2 episodes and then bail? I don't get that. You did call it. I'll admit that.
I don't know, Jeremy. You tend to live your life in a circle of bizarre epiphanies of people's darker natures, and then this somehow naive notion that because the calendar moved forward slightly, that they've been reborn and rebaptized into the idealized version of them that you want them to be. I'm not sure where that comes from you, but you seem to be amazed when I predict these things, and I'm predicting the most predictable things because a person's behavior is always going to be a person's behavior unless they make some radical change in their life.
Well,
And
somebody told me a long time ago that to give people the gift of your absence, and so I thought by doing that,
giving people the gift of your absence is only powerful if you don't then go running back to them because you've turned a couple pages of a calendar and say, hey man, so I didn't talk to you for a little while, it's all good, right? You're the idealized version of yourself that I wish you were, right? And no,
I felt like it
no,
was more organic than that, though.
no.
The way it happened, I don't know. Felt like it was more organic than that.
I mean, it ain't just Zach. This is a continuous sort of cycle in your life to continually move backwards in time to relationships that you destroyed, and by saying like, "Hey, man, it's all water under the bridge, right? You're the idealized version of the person I wish you would be," and then you're shocked when that turns out not to be the case.
Well, be careful because I would remind you that you know Thrill Manjaro is a friend that I just reconnected with after all these years. I don't want to put any ideas in his head here.
Yeah, give me a little time before I put the knife in your back, Jeremy. Jeez.
No, there's no betrayal. How would you describe the energy of the show compared to that first episode back? Though, am I do I not have it anymore? What do you think?
I mean, it's the show you want it to be, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. You like to have the most pretentious, up their own ass authors on to drag all the air out of the room and destroy every bit of energy that you've built up, and then
We've only had one on.
it lands flat as fuck while you hunt for your clout in literary communities, which are the least energetic, the community with the least amount of people that have video presence. It's like I understand that you love internet blood sports. It's your favorite thing.
Yeah.
I get that. The attempts to then take some of the most camera shy, dull, boring, pretentious, up their own ass writers and try to get them to fight each other, you're not ever going to create the thing you think you're going to make out of it. Like, if you want blood sports, then you're going to have charismatic people on the show, buddy. You can't invite the author of Butt Fuck in the Woods on the show to talk about, like, well, now tell me, what is the figurative interpretation of the butt fuck? What exactly are you trying to get at there? And somehow think that's going to be as entertaining as two guys calling each other pedophiles. You're never going to get that out of the literary community. And I don't know why you're so obsessed with these literary communities in the first place. Let's start there.
I don't know. Well, I'm not
Why do
chasing
you get to talk about these extremely boring people to begin with?
But I'm not chasing clout now.
Okay,
We
you
only
already
had
had
one guest
you
on.
you already put some low energy author on the show last week. It's like,
Well, he wasn't low energy though. He was cool.
okay, say so.
He was cool. He wasn't an
What,
overreaction.
Kleckler?
No. Kleckler's cool. No, Kleckler's all right. No, but Chadwick is the only guest we've had so far, and I mean, the only actual guest that we interviewed, like straight on about their work. Kleckler was a guy who came on every now and then because he knew how to shoot the shit. He's the one who did these paintings for me. But no, Chadwick came on and talked about his work. But I mean, there was nothing navel gazing about him. I mean, he wasn't hysterical. About stuff on the left or right. He was just a dude. He was just being a dude, shooting the shit.
I didn't say anything about people being hysterical about left or right.
Okay.
I said they're boring and they don't have any charisma.
Well, I think that I've chosen some co-hosts that.
No, I was getting ready to say you lucked out by finding people like Ben and Zach and Gregor and Anna. You put some bizarre people on here that are very entertaining, and beyond entertaining, you guys are all friends, and that really comes off as a party that you want to be at. When the Quiet Place is at its peak for me, what makes me want to jump in the show is when everybody's busting each other's balls and having a good time, and it's the core group of dudes and girls. And then you just kill the fucking show with these writer dorks. In my opinion. I mean, Ben, I know you love having writers on to talk about their work. So I know it's not just Jeremy. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I just think writers are fucking the worst people to interview. Generally speaking.
Sam Pink was good. But he doesn't. I don't think he even considers himself an author 100%. Really, I mean,
I would say there's probably like of the Ben, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you're not chiming in at all.
No, I just don't have anything to say.
I mean, you could call me retarded.
I mean,
you
said that, not me.
Wow,
that was the first thing that it's like. If that's the first thing you can think of to insult yourself with, then okay, it sticks.
There you go.
Guy asked for a lifeline. You put a boot on his face.
I would say that out of in the literary circles you're obsessed with, Jeremy, I would say that there's probably, to be generous, maybe 200 people, 200 writers that kind of float around those circles. And of those 200, you're lucky to find 20 that can be entertaining for more than 5 minutes.
Well, the thing with like podcasting is there's a big paradox around it, which is that it's very easy to do, like dead simple to do, but almost nobody is good at it. And I'm not even including us in the be good at it category.
Now we got him talking. We had to get him warmed up by calling me retarded. Yo, you're right, and that's why I wonder why that's the people that Jeremy chooses to go after when there's an entire internet of people you could be choosing to talk to interview. There's lots of subcultures. There's lots of weird, energetic, charismatic people, and I mean I think you struck gold when you started bringing flat earthers on. And having been absolutely lose his mind on flat earth.
That was fun.
I've been drinking.
That shit's funny.
I'm probably not going to do that again.
That shit's funny as fuck.
The book stuff, I feel like, has to be the anchor because most of the co-hosts who come on are predominantly co-hosts, and also we lose Gregor if we don't have the book focus every show, and he'll say, "Do what you want, it's your show." But then, of course, we'll be robbed of his participation if we don't, at least keep it, in there to a degree. I mean,
Well, Gregor probably just had to go anyway and figured he'd take that opportunity.
oh, I know.
We kind of need him because he's our card wrangler.
I think, but see, the book stuff, I think will always have to serve as an anchor. You know, that's not comfort zone. That's not clout chasing. That's just who I am as a reader, and you know who surrounds himself with certain writers.
So what I'm saying is, I don't think you can do. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say every week, every show, you bring this same thing where you say, "What can I do to change the show?" We give you suggestions, and you create deflections, you create excuses.
I want it to be internet blood sports, but it has to involve authors that have absolutely no charisma.
Just say you don't want to change the show, and say you'll never change the show, but you just wish it was more popular the way you
just
envision.
wish we would tell you what you want to hear. And I've told him, I've said this to Jeremy a million times when he does all this deflection stuff. I'm like, Jeremy, just tell me what you want me to say, and I'll say it. You're trying to drag words out of me that I don't know the words to say. Just tell me what to say, and I'll say it.
Like, no, I get what he's saying with books being an anchor. Like, yeah, we could, like, obviously we still have the segment where we talk about what we've been reading and still talk to authors, but maybe try to expand to get other people on. Like,
well,
if I don't know, maybe like try to get a VTuber or something as a guest on here.
What I was going to say was, if the book is the anchor, the books are the anchor, and the co-hosts are authors, and it all needs to be literary centric. I think you have to abandon the blood sports angle because you're never going to get that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to go to the blood sports.
His head saying, I don't want to. The
I don't want
controversy has to be here.
I mean, me personally, I don't want to go down the blood sports road anyway.
Like, you kept wanting to bring on Trumpster Bob. What did you think we were going to do with Trumpster Bob?
Argue with
Yeah, all I was going to do was make fun of him. I wasn't going to try to engage him.
So maybe you should do two different shows. Maybe you should have a blood sports show where you get to live out your Tonka Saw fantasies, and then have this show that's literary centric where it's not about the sensationalism.
Yeah, have a show where you scream at other people and call it the loud place.
You got the quiet place and the loud place. That's perfect.
I don't have anybody for that other show to participate.
Did you ask anyone?
He's never asked anybody.
I don't have anybody.
He wants to have the most low energy fucking writers in the world come on here and somehow become the idealized version of them that he wishes that they would be. He wants every writer to act like I do and fly off the handle and insult people when he gets me worked up. And that's just 99.9% of writers.
You just heard him, though. You just heard him say, we would have just what do you think we would have done besides make fun of him? That's exactly what I was going for.
I mean, I wasn't gonna play like the clip you had at the beginning where like 3 different people were screaming at each other in 5 different accents.
That was like music. That was like perfect synchronicity.
Volmir makes more melodic music than that.
No, that was perfect synchronicity of instruments, right?
That was like shit. I felt my IQ dropping listening to that.
How you can enjoy noise music and not enjoy that? To me, I feel
noise music is soothing, whereas that's just a bunch of stupid people arguing over nothing.
I like noise soothing. See, now we're back to blood sports.
It works on the same principle as ASMR, I guess.
We're about to have blood sports unless you agree with me. Oh, it's catch-22. I don't know.
I'm not gonna yell at you over noise music.
Yes, you are.
I mean, I made your
rabbit season.
I made your mother yell when I fucked her.
Jesus.
I was cracking up last week. Ben, I don't know how you guys kept your composure when Jeremy kept doing this. It was fucking cracking me up. Your low energy writer guest comes on and wants to rehash Bizarro Gate from 20 fucking years ago and do it the same way all low energy writers do it by saying, I'm not going to name any names, but
you're right.
This individual, this particular individual, and then Jeremy would immediately name them.
I didn't realize he was doing that.
By the end of this dude trying to fucking play the tepid, fucking boring I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but I'm still gonna drudge up this fucking long dead fucking controversy from years and years ago that no one wants to remember. And the few
Yeah,
people
I
that do
mean,
remember it, you know, and then Jeremy just no selling it and just naming names the whole fucking.
I didn't
And
name
Jeremy's like,
Robin.
well, what if I talk about the books in another segment? That's okay, right?
and I mean, okay, yeah, I mean that is a good point. Like the last, like Charles Chadwick coming on here, that's the last time we're talking about Bizarro Drama. No more of that. No more. Like
I
we're
don't
gonna put a
know
shot,
that.
Jeremy. We're gonna put a shot collar on you, and every time you bring it up, we're gonna zap the fuck out of you.
I
Dead.
don't
It's
promise.
so-
I promise
nobody
nothing.
cares.
I don't.
Nobody
promise
cares but Jeremy. Jeremy wants to talk about it every day. It's like Groundhog Day in Jeremy's life, where every day he gets up and it's time to fight the Bizarros.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many new books come out? How many new books have you read? And like, how many new books come out each year? And you insist on being stuck on this Bizarro scene drama?
Long gone.
Well, because that's the drama I was actually sort of a part of. But
That's why
anyway,
it's Al Bundy reliving the high school football scene.
I know.
Hawkeye
Yeah,
champion,
I mean,
5
you-
touchdowns.
So what do we? talk
Yeah,
about?
just and now you're just standing by the road with a sign that says "Run me over, $5."
Did you bring that up? I came in the middle of it when he was trying to not name names and you were just dropping them left and right. Did you bring all that up, or did he come in wanting to unearth long dead nonsense?
I don't remember.
So I came in when he was talking about the what was his name, Chandler Morrison baby
Yeah.
fucking.
Yeah.
Did you bring that up, or did he bring that up?
I kind of got
Remember
the
who-
impression that Jeremy wanted to bring
Yeah,
that up.
I kind of thought that's why he brought him on, was to talk
No,
about.
I
Because he
asked
was-
him. I asked him I asked him to come on and talk about his experience at BizarroCon to see how things had changed for the better or worse. What the atmosphere was like, and et cetera. Because it was timely, and sometimes you do need a guest to pull from in order to have things to talk about on the side, or you can address this happened during the interview, or or it can launch into other topics. Sometimes you need anchors and pullaways and stuff that to keep a rhythm going.
There hasn't been a BizarroCon in what, 4 years? It's
well,
gone.
it's and also to talk about the Wonderland Awards, which have still happened every year. That's the thing. And
Buddy, they happen in the same way that if I said I had a buttfuck award every November and then got on my webcam and said 3 names, that's about as much of a legitimacy as the Wonderland Awards have these days.
So, I mean, one could argue that for any kind of award.
Well, yeah.
Because-
Well, I guess what I'm saying
It's
is,
like-
is there's
My
no
hot take
interest-
is that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying there's no interest in it, but from anyone. And there's 4 people standing there at the hotel over there with a webcam saying the names of the winners that nobody cares about. Nobody follows that award, is what I'm saying. Like, are all awards pretentious and meaningless? Sure, but there are awards that people consider to be
Prestigious.
prestigious in a way that will forward a career or will
not anymore. Now it would have once upon a time, but
that award.
I mean, like, but something below, like a Pulitzer or a Nobel probably doesn't mean
Man
much.
Booker,
no.
Or a Booker, yeah, something like that. At least with those awards, you get money.
The Stoker used to matter a long time ago.
Yeah.
I don't think the Wonderland Award ever mattered to anybody but a few dozen people. But
You know
now
what it
it's-
was? You may have made this comparison. It was kind of like the $1 million belt, where Ted DiBiase awarded himself that after he tried to buy the WWF belt off Andre the Giant, and then they stripped Andre of it, and so he had the $1 million belt made with diamonds encrusted into it, and wore that. You remember
Well,
that?
the argument I always made was there's nothing wrong with an Editor's Choice Award.
Hmm.
Every award, almost every award ceremony has an Editor's Choice or an award that's chosen based on whatever popularity or whatever. That's long established as a legitimate type of award to give. But the Wonderland was not presented as such, even though it was handed out like that, but it wasn't presented publicly like that. That was always my real only beef with that award other than it's irrelevant. Now, what I'm talking about today is that you bringing on guests to talk about it is, dude, it's meaningless. Nobody cares about that.
For the
I'd
most
never even heard
part,
of it.
you're right, but you know, I felt that it was timely, that it would make more sense to try that last week.
How is it timely in
In-
fucking
because it happened, because
4
it's something
years
that
after?
because it was
Was
the
that
weekend
5
that
years
it
ago?
happened.
Did it
Because,
happen 4 years ago or did it happen 5 years ago?
because it was the weekend that it was happening. That's why. I mean, that's so he could have said anything, but if I didn't bring him on to have the discussion, then I wouldn't have known. So
I mean, I understand that you wanted to talk to a guy that was there, but you're talking to a guy that was there so many years after it happened, and so many years after the
He was
controversy.
there last weekend, is what I'm saying. See, he brought up the Chandler Morrison thing. I didn't bring. I mean, it was brought up in passing, but
He went
I
out there
wasn't asking him to make that the focus of the.
Well, my understanding is that Charles had gone to all of
He
them
admitted
since
that.
like 2016, 2017, something like that.
But he'd also
But they-
been at last weekend's. See, that's
Okay,
why.
Yeah.
but it isn't even a. I mean, what is it? It's a
Yeah,
private-
it's basically that's the thing. Like ever since the
Yeah,
Chandler
fly
Morrison
over
thing,
there.
it's basically just been it's just
So,
been
look-
like they gather at the
12
hotel,
people.
like a handful of them, and then they announce the Wonderland Award winners.
Yeah, it's like 12 people that go hang out.
Right, and the rooms are a lot smaller than.
So you're making more sense now that you're saying that it's timely, because I'm going, timely, this happened fucking
Yeah.
years ago.
Right.
But you're saying he was just at the
Yes.
well, there is no BizarroCon, so he went for the Wonderland ceremony, is what you're saying. Okay, that makes more sense that you brought it up and that you brought him on when you did. You know, you're the man, dude. You're the host. Fuck me.
I'm not the
You
man.
ask-
No, it's,
You ask me questions, and I don't have I'm ignorant to most of the
sometimes
goings on.
yeah, I get the point about deflecting and everything, but what I feel like I'm doing when I ask and then respond is that I'm trying to get my perspective and see, well, how can they flesh this perspective out for me. You know, it's kind of like I throw something out and then I expect you to throw something back to add perspective to that too. See what I'm saying? Instead of, what do you want me to do? Just bow down and say, thank you, oh sagely one, for setting me straight. Instead, I'm offering my.
That's what I want you to do. Yes, but
Okay.
you do whatever you want.
I feel like I don't feel like I'm saying, well, here's why you're wrong. What I feel like I'm saying is, here's why I thought this. Can you flesh that out a little bit more in response to this? Now, that's how I feel like I do. That's what I feel like I do. So maybe not. I don't know.
You should just do what I tell you to do.
Okay.
We make you famous overnight.
Yeah, Jeremy, just do what I tell you, just because I said it.
Look, I've known you the longest. Do what I tell you.
See?
I almost convinced you were an alien. Come on, I
That's
think
true.
I know how to triangle you.
And I still might be, right?
You
Might
are.
be.
Right? He's definitely an alien.
Yeah.
In fact, you can actually fly, Jeremy. You should go up on your rooftop and try that out.
We're all probably aliens. Is this going to get Ben going like the flat Earth people? We were probably this planet was probably seeded by intelligent, life forms billions of years
Okay.
ago.
Chariots. of
Your
the
mother was
gods.
seeded by an intelligent life form last night. Me.
Hi-oh.
Okay. All right. Let's try something. Let's try to talk about something not literature related and see what happens. Anybody hear about the Idaho 4? The four people that were butchered in that college dorm room or whatever, that house.
No,
Did that just
I don't
happen?
know about that.
Never heard of it.
It was
It
very
just happened, right?
Yeah, it was very shades of Ted Bundy.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I don't know if he's going to do research or take a shit.
He's got to go check about the 4 bodies in his basement.
Yeah.
Make sure they're secure.
He's gonna say, fuck,
Yeah.
somebody
Make
beat
sure
me to
they
the
don't
punch.
come.
Gonna
make
have to
sure they
double
don't-
up.
He's gonna make sure they don't come wandering in while he's streaming and fall on
Yeah.
his shoulder.
Yeah.
That would just be very.
See, that's what happens when I try to talk about something else. You guys shit all over that.
Maybe like talk about I mean, if you can talk about this, maybe it actually has a plot line and goes somewhere instead of like, does the guy on camera, does the asshole, the woman fall on him?
I'm
Go
telling
boom.
you, something was not right in that clip, and I can't believe I have to justify it. She looked like she was unconscious, like someone was throwing her at him as a joke or something. They were scaring her or something.
Okay, so now
Is
there's
that?
a second gunman on the grassy knoll.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently, like they slipped this woman roofies, and like someone was off screen, like fucking her unconscious body, and then after he busted a nut in her, just threw her on him.
Yeah, like a human cudgel. He was swinging her at it like, hey,
Here, it's your turn to fuck her.
I've been propping her up for the past hour while you're on this podcast.
See, it was worth it for that, if nothing else. That little joke there. I mean, don't worry, you'll be crapping gold-plated diapers in no time, boys. You stick with me.